Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the new Marvel Legends Punisher 2-pack featuring Punisher and Michael. That is obviously his motorcycle. I made that up. I thought it would be a funny joke. Turns out it's not. I'm gonna leave it in. You guys can judge me however you want. Anyway, here we have a new version of Punisher and an old version of a motorcycle, which is slightly different than before, but mostly still the same. Is it a good set? I don't know. Some people are saying they love it, some people are saying they hate it. I'm going to give you all the information, and you can decide for yourself if you want to spend your money to buy it. I do like a few things, a whole bunch though. I'm going to just let you know up front, there's some good stuff here. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 6 3/4 inches tall, a little bit more, probably closer to 6 7/8, which makes him pretty close to 17.5 centimeters. When I did my unboxing video, I thought he looked a little bit tall. He's on the tall side for Marvel Legends, but not exceptionally tall, so that is a good thing. And like I said the other day, we're going to start doing a daily question. So here's the question for today's video. You guys can answer in the comment section below. Was the Thomas Jane Punisher movie any good? I'm not going to try to persuade you to answer one way or the other by giving you my answer, but I will tell you that if you say it was no good, you are wrong. Okay, moving forward with the aesthetics for this figure. They did some things that I like a whole lot that we don't normally get for Marvel Legends. First of all, we have new shoulders that have sleeves sculpted onto them, which is just a nice thing because normally we just have painted t-shirts and painted clothes, and this does help a lot. It is interesting to me that they did this though, because I can't imagine there are that many figures that are going to use these very tiny, weird short sleeves on the shoulders. I guess we'll find out, but it gives me hope that they're doing some more new things. We do have all new sculpted arms, which are kind of weird in the anatomy department, but still pretty nice. They're nice and chunky, which is a really good thing. They are pinless. Some people are just going crazy for that. It's obviously a good thing. Honestly, I don't care that much. The pins never bothered me. Is it better to not have them? Sure. Is it worth taking budget away if that's what they're doing? I don't know. I don't know how they're exactly engineering this. I haven't cut it open to see yet. If it's taking budget, I'm not sure it's worth it. You guys can let me know about that, but what you think about that. But it's fine. It definitely looks good, so that's fine. I mean, there's no negative to it unless it's pulling budget from something else. That's all. His chest is a little bit small relative to his shoulders and arms. He's got very small pecs, probably to account for these straps up here. The straps do a decent enough job of hiding that. His legs are definitely a little slim for somebody wearing baggy pants. And his arms are very big compared to his legs, and his legs are very tubular. Paint job on the chest is very nice. It does continue. That's good. Paint job on the face is very nice as well. Let's take a closer look at that real quick. Very nice paint job. Sculpt is a little bit weird. Some of the facial features are kind of exaggerated in an odd way, but if you're not looking too close, it looks pretty good. Yeah, it's overall a very aesthetically pleasing figure. I will say though, there are two issues with these shoulders that do bug me. One is the black paint or plastic. Whatever's going on up here is not the same as the black that's on the shirt, and then the flesh tone here is not the same as the flesh tone right here. If you don't look too close, you won't notice it, but it is worth mentioning. One last thing to mention for the aesthetics, the bike is just ridiculously big. It is a very, very, very big motorcycle. And there was some contention last time we talked about this, and we talked about motorcycles, and we talked about how big they're supposed to be compared to people. I don't believe there's a tank on a bike shaped like this that goes up to your waist. That is huge, especially for somebody as tall as... So he's like 6'6", 6'7" in scale. So yeah, this is a very large motorcycle. There are some nice details though. The license plate says Pinch and 616, so that's kind of cool. And then we have a Punisher branded Speedo on there, which is, I guess that's a factory option he got when he ordered the bike. Anyway, aesthetically speaking, it's pretty cool. They did some nice things, some things not so well, and the bike is questionable. I'll give it an 8 just because they earned a couple, or at least one bonus point for having new sculpt here and there. As far as accessories go, we have the two heads. We have the beat-up head that is painted really well and questionable sculpt, and then we have the non-beat-up head, which is painted really well and has a slightly less questionable sculpt. We do have this helmet. Please somebody explain to me why he has a helmet that looks like a Viking helmet. How did that come to be? Why is that a thing Frank Castle has? That's very strange to me. It does work nice. They did a good job with it, but it's a very strange thing. We do have a Machete, which is definitely how you're supposed to pronounce that. It's about as basic a sculpt as you could possibly have. It looks like a little kid's toy included with a Punisher figure. We also have a double barrel shotgun, little sawn-off shotgun, which is surprisingly well done. That's pretty nice. We have a baseball bat, which is just like the Machete. It's just smooth plastic. It looks so cheap and junky. Gross. Ew. And we have a couple of guns. We have one machine pistol. I can't think what that's called. Is that a tech? I don't know. No paint on there. And then we have another one. This looks like an Uzi. Pretty nicely done. So accessory wise, if we don't count Michael, well, we could count Michael. So we also get the motorcycle, which we already talked about, rubber tires, basic paint, but decent enough. I'm gonna give it a 9 for accessories, just because they're cheap and crappy, but there's a bunch. So if they're actually well done, then I'd give them a 10 for accessories. But I can't do that. I also want to point out he's got this thigh holster thingy, which has what appear to be AR mags, some kind of AR platform type mag. And none of his guns use those. So that's very weird. Why does he have those is very strange. Okay, on to the articulation. The head can lean back very nicely. It can lean forward very nicely. Can look side to side. And there's a little bit of attitude. See how easy it is to not have a giant gap in the head and it still functions normally? So nice. For the shoulders, we have full rotation. And as far as the hinge goes, definitely not as much as it could be. It could be definitely better. It's not quite horizontal. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbows, no problem there. For the wrists, we have a swivel and a hinge. This hand has a horizontal hinge, which is weird that they did that, because you don't need it for any of the accessories he has. And then this hand has a vertical hinge, which is the right hinge that he should have had on both hands. So at least we got one. Ab crunch, we already showed you a little bit, leans back, kind of pot belly situation. Well, it's a very pot belly situation. He looks pregnant. He looks pregnant. That's pretty weird. And then it leans forward, not very far at all, but the skull does continue, so that's cool. Doesn't lean very far forward at all. And then there's no waist twist, which is an odd choice. Oh, there it is. Okay. That's why it's an odd choice. It's not a choice they made. Okay, so the waist twist works. It's just mine was stuck. Maybe yours won't be. All right, for the hips, almost splits. That's pretty good range. That's not bad at all. Going forward, we have plenty of range there. No going back. Thigh swivel is a thigh swivel. Double jointed knee is fine. Ankle does not go that far back. Doesn't go that far forward, and we have a lousy ankle rocker, and the feet are questionably small. I liked this figure more before I looked at it up close. It's still not bad. The articulation on it gets only a 6. It's pretty lousy in a lot of places. I don't know. Like I said a second ago, I liked the figure a whole lot more before I looked pretty close at it. I still love some things about it. I love that he's got some big arms and some big shoulders and these nice broad shoulders, and it just looks so much better. But he still has a kind of big head, maybe. Just weird proportioning, tiny legs. He just looks weird. Ugh. And then when you put him on his motorcycle, I guess you're not going to see most of that, but it makes his legs look even smaller and his head look even bigger. This figure definitely has some weird oddities to it. I don't know. My initial impression of this thing was like 9 out of 10. That looks like a great set. Now that I've looked at it up close and examined it thoroughly, I'm forcing myself to be generous and say 7. I don't like a lot about it. I like where they're going with a lot of it, but to me, this, I don't know. It's very strange in a lot of ways, and some things I like. I like the arms. That's about it. The rest is all pretty janky. Look how little his legs look compared to the rest of his body. It's very weird. Okay, let me know what you guys think about the figure. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, click the bell, turn on notifications, do all this stuff. Because I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.